Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Lemon Branch Do It Yourself. Today we're talking about how much water your lawn needs when you turn on your sprinkling system. Or let's say you've got a brown spot in your lawn and you're not sure how much water is getting to that. Well, there's a couple different tricks that we use. You can go buy these special cups that have all these little lines that have measurements on it, different things like that. Well, my trick is just a cheap tuna can. I've got just a cheap tuna can here, and the can is about 1.5 inches tall. So all you want to do is, let's say that I'm not sure how much water I'm getting in this particular part of the grass. I'm worried about it because it looks dry, it's just not getting enough water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just place the tuna can right in the area that I'm worried about. So if it's in the middle of the lawn, whatever, you just put it right on the grass. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run our sprinkler cycle, and we're going to just see how much water is collecting in the tuna can. If we can get it to 1.5 inches, then that's great. You want to make sure that you're about 1.5 inches. If you're getting more than that, then you don't have to run your sprinklers as long. However, a lot of times we're not watering our grass enough, and in those areas where it's starting to get brown, or you're really suspecting that it's just not getting the water it needs, that's where the tuna can, you'll see where it's at. You can bump it up to where you want to get that full. Now here's the key too. A lot of sprinkling systems are different. There's different kinds of sprinkler heads. If it's a pop-up head, that's going to spray at a different rate than if it's one of the rotary kind that come up and then have to go back and forth. And so every little sprinkler system is different. It's designed a little bit different, doing different different things for each zone. But this, to me, is the easiest way. You just throw the tuna can down there. It won't matter necessarily about how long you're running it or how short you're running it. The bottom line is you want to run it until the can is full. Once the can's full, that gives you the time that you need. There's a lot of new sprinkling timers out there, sprinkler timers. Some of them are smart timers, and they will take care of a lot of this for you. When you go to set it up, it'll ask you what kind of sprinkler head it is, what kind of, are you doing a flower bed, or are you doing if you're doing grass. So is it a rotary head, a pop-up head, what kind of soil do you have? It'll ask you all these questions when you're doing a setup, and it will kind of do a lot of this for you. Now, one of the things that I usually recommend is, so how often do you have to do this? Well, if you don't have one of those timers that's going to help you figure it out, there's two approaches you can do. You can do it more often if you want, just depending on how hot the weather is. So if it's really hot, you got 100-degree heat every day, you might have to run your sprinklers a little bit more, and in that case you might have to do it 3 or 4 times a week, so every other day. If it's a little bit cooler, one of the things that you can do to conserve some of the water, make sure that, like I said, you keep the times the same so that the tuna can is full, right? So you keep the time, it's just the frequency. So if on a cooler day, you might only have to do it every 2 or 3 days of watering once it starts to cool down a little bit. But as far as just watch your grass. The grass will truly talk to you. If you walk out there and it's dry and brittle, obviously you need to run it a little bit more. If you're trying to promote the deeper root growth in the grass, what you'll want to do there is do less frequent, but even bump it up more. So you may, instead of just filling the tuna can once, you might want to bump it up and really soak the lawn. But that's because you're not going to water it very often, right? So you're going to maybe do that twice a week. Well, during the time that the grass is looking for water, the roots will actually grow a little bit deeper down into the ground, and it'll make them a little bit deeper. And so it just depends on kind of where you're at. Different parts of the country, different parts of the world really have different conditions. But the bottom line is how long do you do it? You want to at least fill up the tuna can. So hopefully that helps. That's a really cheap, effective way to know how much water you need to do. So anyway, yeah, leave us a comment and a like. If there's some other way that you're doing it that we're not aware of, but this, let us know. But yeah, leave us a like and a subscribe, and thank you for watching.